When women have a problem with Samantha and the job, it's ignored. But when a woman has a problem with Kevin on the job, it's immediately addressed.
One woman was complaining that her husband would come in the bed and do poop in the bed.
Thai women is easier. That's for sure. You know, she's not going to challenge you back. She's not going to be more successful. She's certainly not going to have more money than you. With Western women, you have that challenge. You need to up the game.
Welcome back to More to Life. Before I get into this video, I ask that you like, comment, subscribe. Also, smash that notification bell just to be sure you get on my videos as soon as I release them. All right, guys, let's hop right into it.
So someone made a tweet where it said, women's spaces are so hostile and mean. And she didn't realize that women's spaces were hostile and mean. It's not that you didn't realize women's spaces were hostile and mean. It's just women being hostile and mean to each other is swept under the rug. It's swept under the rug all the time. And I always say that women are emotionally violent to each other, and so emotionally violent to each other that is not recognized until it becomes an altercation. When a man is emotionally violent to a woman, it's caught right away. He's in trouble. It's caught right away. But when a woman does it to another woman, it's swept under the rug.
I cry all the time.
Right? That's why when women have a problem with Samantha and the job, it's ignored. But when a woman has a problem with Kevin on the job, it's immediately addressed.
Does a woman's behavior play any role in how she's treated by men?
Yeah.
So why are people so quick to blame the man when things go wrong in a relationship?
Because the men are supposed to be the breadwinners. It's easy to blame them.
Because women don't like accountability. Women don't like being wrong, and nobody holds women accountable. They enable women, so it's easier to blame the man, like always.
It's not always the guy's fault, but people are quick to judge the guy faster than they are the girl. So
Why is that?
I don't know. People just perceive men bad.
So when you're in a space where it's not corporate and where that emotional violence can just run rampant, then we literally see TV shows of us saying disgusting and rude things to each other that know that hurts, that cuts, right? When we say these smart things, we don't just only say it to men, we say it to each other too. And I know some women who will come on this.
I mean, man, this is a known thing. I got to stop it right there because this has been a known thing forever. Forever. That's why men's spaces are important. Men need to hear other men saying you can do it.
You can do it!
There's a lot of men out there that need passport bros. There's a lot of men out there that need dating coaches. There's a lot of men out there that need confidence booster guys that talk about going to the gym, which is pretty much all the spaces, right? And being on your grind and staying on your purpose. But women, they're usually the most coldest, right? Of course, look at jails, right? Men's jails, of course, are the most violent, but the woman is just as violent. But still, women, all they know how to do is cut. They don't sharpen. They don't sharpen a knife. They just cut, and then soon the knife can't cut anymore to where now things are just done. That's why guys check out, right? That's why, look at lesbian relationships. They're doing worse than regular relationships. That's why when you look at all of these problems with relationships and marriage, whose fault is it going to be if, I hate to bring this up, but you look at gay men, those marriages are doing fine. Look, lesbian marriages, they're doing worse. Men and women relationships are doing almost as bad as lesbian marriages, but not as bad. Why is that? Turn around and look at who's the problem. Who's doing all the cutting?
It's me. I'm the problem. It's me.
I rest my case.
I hate men.
Damn!
That's what some people think when they watch my videos. Let me tell you about my childhood and you can come to your own conclusion. So
now, I would love to, she said, tell us about childhood. I want to hear her say I was raped by a man, all kind. I want to hear that stuff, right? If it's not that, I'm not hearing it. Let me see what she has to say.
But when I was young, I was kind of like a fly on the wall.
Interesting.
I learned that when adults are gossiping or talking about serious things, if you look away and swing your door side to side and act like you're concentrating on that, they won't ask you to leave. So I was always in the room when people were discussing matters about the neighbor's husband, the church lady's husband, uncle, and sometimes it was the people going through it that were venting. I'm going to tell you some of the things I heard, very horrific things. One woman was being and her hand broke. Someone was for rejecting a husband who was hitting. One woman was being forced to engage in physical intimacy while she was on her period. One woman was complaining that her husband would come in the bed and do poop in the bed.
No, for real, don't play like that.
One woman told the story about how her best friend and her husband were having an affair and even going on trips whilst the husband was telling the wife that his salary had been cut. In addition to that, the friend, the wife, was actually paying for the best friend's child who has a disability.
All right, now see, this girl was traumatized, right? And this happens all the time, but it happens a different way. I think she may be in Africa, so she's seeing some wild stuff like, you know, girls usually hear from their mama, hey, well, you know, these men, and don't worry about men, go to school, get your degree. They usually hear stuff like that. This here is like she was dropped off the bed. You know, like a kid falls off the bed by mistake and they fall on their head, but then they never fall again, and you feel guilty about it because you're a parent. One of those kind of things. She was dropped on her head almost every day. Just boo, boo, boo. So her head is like this out to here, and she's just like, this happening with men? Men pooping in the bed? I don't want to give it a man because, Daddy, you gonna poop on me, Daddy? I heard. Maybe no daddy was around, right? I don't know what's going on. I'll continue a little more. I want to hear what she says.
What's actually crazy is sometimes it was just uncles and their friends having conversations, and they were being loud even though I wasn't in the room. They would say things like, women these days don't want to get hit. It's not grape if you're married. The things you see in the comments are happening in real life to people. It became very clear.
All right, that's enough. She was in some crazy situations around some crazy people. I can tell she's from Africa. I'll be honest with you. I hear some things that go down in Africa and the other places, which I believe a lot of it. But man, that's crazy. It's wild. So I don't know. I guess she may have a reason to be traumatized, right? I don't know. You guys let me know down in the comments what you think. It's probably not, right?
You have any children?
Five.
5 kids. How old are your kids?
24, 18, 19, 8, and 6.
Y'all by the same man?
Yes.
Why did y'all get married? You got 5 kids together.
At the time, I just didn't feel like he was ready, and I didn't want to be obligated.
What kind of man you looking for, honey?
Financially stable, at least 75, 80,000.
Would you date a guy that made less than 80K or no?
I would hang out, but that's not like someone that I can see providing and taking care and raising.
All right, now one thing, right? And let me know, because I haven't been dating for a while.
Why?
I haven't dated for a long time. But let me know, guys. Are women out there asking, I know some women do, I see it here. I see it online, but a woman asking all the time, you know, how much do you make? Because I've seen in some cases they do. If women are doing that, the dating game is over. The dating game is over. Like, and I'll tell you why, right? A man could be making 60,000, even 50, even 40,000 a year in saving and investing to make more. What I mean by that, he can be in the stock market. He can be investing to have a business. You know, that business will make more, but still, even all in all, say the man's just working a regular job, right? Working a regular job, making 40,000, and he's doing right with his money. He's living within his means, which a lot of guys do. Even the guys making 100. That's why a lot of women wouldn't know they make 100, and they're passing over those guys making 100. I speak to these guys all the time. They pass them over. Don't know what they would look like because they don't understand like the Bill Gates technique, you know, those guys super rich who live well below their means, who just don't have a need for all their extras. There's guys that are living like that. If you're gonna make 100,000, there's guys like I'm sure you guys have seen videos out there. A guy can make 100,000 and not have any money because he's just blowing it. So a guy making 100,000 still needs to save, still needs to make sure he's investing, make sure his money's put away. But if you have a guy making 50, you guys get what I'm saying. He's gonna come across like a guy probably making more. It'll feel like he's making more because he has his act together. Women don't realize that though. It's about having your act together more so than the amount you're making per year. Even though the amount making per year will help, but still, that's what we look at.
In the family with.
Your child's father made 80K or more, correct?
Made about 50, 60.
Okay, so he didn't make more than 80K, but now the requirement would be 80K.
Of course. It would have to be.
Oh, tell me why.
You know what the struggle is. Dealing with a man that only grows a certain amount. If you adding it up, you know, I'm not trying to be out my bracket, but I just feel like, yeah.
That you're requiring more than what you have.
What I make, yes.
Okay.
If you decide to walk that straight line, make sure you make at least 80K a year to provide for a family of 6. Fellas, which direction are you headed to?
Look what it says. Body positive obesity, mother of 2, should say mother of 5. Passport, bro. Man, that's wild. That's wild, but that's women are starting to make that the requirements nowadays, and guys are just not hearing it. On to the next video. It says here, it's from JFK Gomez, by the way. 38-year-old, highly educated, super independent, super narcissistic, passport feminist talks about Thailand. And it says, can I compete with Thai women when it comes to dating and relationships?
Can I compete with Thai women when it comes to dating and relationship? Absolutely, yes. So in this episode, I'll tell you about the struggles we have Western women dating in Thailand and also compare. So who would you rather be with? A Thai woman or a Western woman like me?
I already did it.
Thai woman is easier. That's for sure. You know, she's not going to challenge you back. She's not going to be more successful than you are.
Oh, honey, that's why you don't have a boyfriend.
She's certainly not going to have more money than you. So for sure, with Western women, you have that challenge. You need to up the game because we're going behind you. You know, we're earning equal to you, sometimes more than you. Of course, me being 38, by the way, I'm single. Just saying, if you're interested, send me your applications. I will review. Nobody cares. Your persona. So anyway, yeah, the reason I'm telling you that I'm single, because I know what it's like when it comes to dating. I've been on about 2 or 3 dates in the last year and a half, and they were absolutely Western guys have a huge pool of candidates, a huge pool of women.
So she's 38 and single. Why are you 38 and single? Oh yeah, you mentioned it. You're making about as much money as the men are making. You were working on your career. Yes, you were. That's what you were doing. You made that bag. Yes, you did. You turned into a man, right? And then you wonder why guys go out of the country. You know what you don't realize? Guys actually want a woman they can take care of. They do.
I know. That sounds crazy, but it's true.
They do. And guys want a woman that's going to cooperate and listen, not be a man, right? Sometimes women don't realize when they're a man in their finances, they're a man in the home. And guys want to avoid being with a man. If a guy's doing that, it's the same as going to Thailand and getting involved with some lady boys. If a guy doesn't want to be a man, be with a man, why would he be with you?
Emotional damage.
You are after them or their money, one of them. And of course, they have a selection. So, and what I'll find as well, guys know that dating Western women
We're making progress.
Is a lot more challenging, of course. But what you've got to realise that if she's chosen you, then it's because she wants you, not that she needs you.
What are you talking about?
Do you understand? And I'm not talking about all the rest of the women. We're all different. I'm talking about myself. You know, why do you think I'm single?
Stop it. Get some help.
The guy who called me a used tampon, you didn't upset me, okay? I genuinely feel really concerned about your mental health.
I called her a used tampon.
2,000 years later.
In order to date a Western woman, you've got to be a smart guy. That's the head, because we are clever, we are educated, we know what we're doing. We don't need you. We want you.
The feeling is mutual.
Do you understand the difference?
Yeah. So what?
A Thai lady needs you. I don't. If I choose a guy, it's because I want to be with that guy. So, what do you choose?
We didn't choose Passport Bros. Passport Bros chose us.
It's so true. It did choose us. And you know, they don't realize it's not about competition, right? Guys have just given up. See, by competition, let me explain. In U.S., it's competitive, right? Nobody wants to compete with a woman. Oh, she's pushing me to get more. But the guy doesn't want that.
It's what we do, right? Yeah.
He has men for that, right? If I want to be pushed to do more, I call up men that I confide in as far as business and things of that nature. I wouldn't need a woman to push me. Even though I have my wife, she does help me, but my wife takes heed to everything I say, right? My wife works for me. A guy doesn't mind that woman getting on his program. And it's easier when you leave. Now, say if the woman needs us, right? You're right. You may be right about that in some cases. She needs us. That's fine because it's cheaper and she's not looking for the extras, right? You know what you'll find over here on this side of the world and also other parts of the world? The woman will be saying, oh, okay, I want this Gucci bag. My wife looks at Gucci like, huh, why would I need that? Why would I need this? And I gotta say, some women in the West look at it like that as well. But still, you'll be somewhere where rent is cheaper. A woman may want to go live in the main part of town where the rent is $3,000 a month and say, oh, I can afford it. When there's places out there where rent is $1,000 or less. Why we need to live there? And there is like that even in the States. I know of it. So why we need to stay there? It's things like that, small things like that. Always pushing for more. And it's not always the case, but still, something else comes. Headaches another way. You want to be married. Divorce comes. You know, you got women. I divorced my husband after 27 years. The proof, you see it all in the videos, guys. And guys are done with that because they realize
It's the way.
Passport, bro. Passport. No. There's more to life than going through that.